This is going to be a fairly short video, but one I hope will provide some interest. This is my Dell Inspiron 710m, which is a very, very interesting piece of technology because this came from the US, and I don't actually think it was ever sold in the UK at any point, because I can't find any more on eBay. I bought this one 2 years ago, I think, and it was just there. I have not seen another one. I haven't seen a 700M either. So I think this is quite a rare thing to have. Currently, it has a dead battery, a dead CMOS battery, and like 512 megabytes of RAM, I think. We will check that when I turn it on. And I've got some more RAM to hand, I think. We'll see. And I bought something exciting off of eBay. And I might also find a working CMOS battery. So I'm going to also turn the lights off in a second because we're going to have glossy screen problems again. I might have a CMOS battery. It depends if it's the ones with cables or not, and if it is the ones with cables, I've only got one type, and it might work, it might not. It has its original mechanical hard drive, so it's not going to be the fastest thing in the world, but it's fine for Windows XP. See if that helps with the reflection at all. That's better, there we go. We will look around the machine a little bit more when we take it apart, but right now we're just going to let it boot up. Okay, maybe this hard drive is slower than I made it out to be. There we go. Now I believe I installed XP Eyes. I did, so it's got some customizations. Log in. There we go. So one of the reasons I bought the thing you'll see in a bit is you can't update the BIOS with no battery. That's a thing that is there for safety reasons, obviously. So let's have a look at our full specs. So my computer is there. Properties. Yeah, 512 megabytes of RAM. 1.7, let me zoom in. 1.7 gigahertz Pentium M. Windows XP Service Pack. Oh no, Windows XP Media Center Edition. So I must have used my Dell install disk on this. The Dell install disk that I cannot find and have looked everywhere under the sun for. I know what I'm looking for. There is an orange Media Center disk, there is a blue Windows Vista disk, and there is a driver disk. All three of them are together. Where I have put them, Lord only knows. So let's have a look and see if we can make this a little bit nicer, because it is in such good condition. I don't think this was ever used. So let's take it apart. Okay, so now we can get a sort of bit of a better look at this laptop. It is a 12-inch laptop. You've got loads of ports, full-size VGA, PS2, or is it? I think it's or is it S-Video? It's S-Video. S-Video, Ethernet modem, full DVD drive, in a little 12-inch Windows XP form factor. Now, this originally shipped with Home Edition. Obviously, it doesn't have Home Edition on it anymore. So, first thing I'm going to do is take the battery out, which is just that slider. Yeah. So this little skinny thing. And this is the memory door. That'll be for the hard drive. No, that'll be for the hard drive. What's under there? Maybe we should just take all the things off so we can explore. So, we'll get the RAM door off first, because I think I have some compatible RAM. I hope I do anyway. It would be really a shame if I don't. I have a whole box of RAM, so surely one piece of the RAM has got to be correct. So, there's the RAM door. Let's pop this module out. So there's only one slot. Okay. Is this one of those situations where there's one slot on the bottom and one slot under the keyboard? That's a bit poopy. So we might have to reflect on that with slightly more, this might be more in depth than we thought, syndrome. That says hard drive, so this must be the wireless card. He says with like zero confidence at all. Wireless card? Wireless card. Yeah, wireless card. So we don't need to take that one off. Pop that back. So let me grab my box of RAM and we'll see if we've got any that is compatible. Now I have some 512MB sticks and I've also got some 1GB sticks. So obviously I'd like it to have 2GB if I could do 1 and 1. But if we ended with 1GB, that's still an improvement. So here is, if I slide this slightly out of the way, the box of trosh. There's all sorts of things in here that probably shouldn't be stacked together, but we won't worry about that too much. So, what RAM is this? See if I can get the camera to focus on it so you can at least read it yourself too. There you go. It is 333 DDR. Do I have any DDR? Right, that's DDR2, that's DDR2, that's DDR2, that's DDR2. This looks promising, perhaps. These two 1GB sticks. They don't have like branding on them, but they are 666 megahertz. So I think this is also DDR2, isn't it? Well, I mean, we can put one in and see if it even fits. So there's the one that came out. The pin layouts match, so let's try it. Let's put one of the sticks in, and then if it works, we'll find out where the other one is. So we'll pop it in. He said the pin layouts match. I lied. No. Ah, yeah, there we go. On the flip it over, darling. 1GB DDR2. So those are also DDR2. These are 512 megs each. What are these? Get the rubber band off. These are also DDR2. Right. Why did I think I had DDR1 RAM somewhere? Maybe it's in something else and I'm just being an idiot. What would it be in, though? Inspiron 8500, possibly? Let me go get the 8500 and we'll see how much RAM that has in it. Because I feel like I had a plan for this and I wouldn't have started this if I hadn't got a plan, right? So I believe the 8500 is currently running Windows 2000. So if this has more RAM in it, we'll steal it because Windows 2000 will cope much better with 512 megs than Windows XP will. Not that Windows XP is even running that badly. I just wanted something to do. I just wanted something to do. Ooh. Is that because that's stuck again? Yep. There we go. The sleep switch on this computer gets stuck, and then it dies. Oh. Never mind. Is it running Windows ME? That's even weirder. Where's my DDR1 RAM? I have some. What's it inside? What is it in? Anyway, right. This has Windows ME on it. This is a really weird experience. Yeah, the clock's wrong. Anyway, right, let's shut this down again. Why did I think this had more RAM? It's very odd. Very odd indeed. It's got good speakers, though. Maybe it's in the Inspiron 1100. This is going to be a little bit of an adventure now while I take apart every computer I own in an attempt to look for RAM. No, that was... Did I click restart by accident? No! Okay. I'll be back with the Inspiron 1100 and we'll just keep digging. Inspiron 1100. Now, we can't turn this on because it has a different charger and I can't bother to go get the charger, so we're just going to look using our eyes. No!
A deer! A female deer.
Dell Latitude C400. Like, there's got to be RAM in one of these computers. Like, this is ridiculous. Not in the bottom slot. Under the keyboard, then there must be a stick. So there's got to be one 512 meg stick in this laptop. I'm convinced there has to be. So there we go. Hey, see, Dells are all the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keyboard slide and lift. Yeah.
Oh my god, what is that?
The RAM stick. Oh my god, it's under the metal plate. Of course it is. At this point, it would have been easier just to turn it on. Go find the charger and turn it on. I'm hoping I can just take out 6 screws. Oh my lord. This is not remotely where I thought this video was going to go, and I can only apologise for that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How big is this RAM stick? 256. Ah! The last place I can think of is inside the Inspiron 9100, because this was having issues with its own RAM when I reassembled it, so I might have stolen RAM out of another system to put inside of here. So, what have we got? 512 megabytes and unknown. This, I want to say, is the one that was in it. Does this match the one in the 8500? Because if it does, then we can just combine the two together. And we'll go with that. So we've at least got 1 gigabyte. Right, 8500, pop the stick. Is it a Hynix stick? It is, right, okay. We found my 1 gigabyte of DDR RAM. It was in the 8500. So, there's our 1 gigabyte that's going to go into the 710M. Now we just need to get it in there. So, that random stick's just going to go back in here. I seem to remember the computer didn't want to boot with that stick in, but right now this is not the computer we're worried about. So, if it doesn't boot, that sounds like a problem for another day, when I have the time to sort this monstrosity out. So, let me move this out of the way. Okay, what we're going to do then, I'm going to put, here's the 710M, we're going to put one of the 512 sticks in here, like that, and then we're going to take out the stick that's under the keyboard, without knocking the light for 6. And again, I'm just going to hope that this is a Dell, so you do this. Yeah, pop, pull gently, give it a wiggle. Off comes the hinge cover. Possibly. Yeah, off comes the hinge cover. 2 screws. 1, 2, slide, lift. Come on, just show me the RAM slot. Under there is my guess. So we're going to carefully take the keyboard out. I hope. Yeah, right, keyboard's off over there. Oh, that's a stiff screw, right. Yeah, 1, 2 stick screws. Come on, don't strip, just come out. There we go. Yay! There's the RAM stick. Okay. Ow, that's my nails. So there's the other 256. So in goes the other 512. That sticker's not straight, so it looks like it's not in. It's in. Heat spreader back on. This is very, like, neat in here. It's very neat in here indeed. Right, so slide. Those 2 metal clips were sort of... Yeah, like that. There we go. Wait, what? Ah, no. There we go. I'm blind. Literally 2 slots. Right, 1, 2... Keyboard. This has not got a connector, it's got a ribbon cable, which is always more fun. Especially when you have 0 light. There we go, in. All the way in. Push the clips back. Please. Yeah. Drop. 1 screw. 2 screws. Make sure it's actually screwed in all the way. Yeah. Bezel. In. Done. That was nice and easy. So theoretically this now has 512 megabytes of RAM. So we'll pop the RAM door back on. Now I was hoping to find the CMOS battery just like easily accessible somewhere. It's not, I'm assuming. It must be buried somewhere much deeper inside than I'm willing to go to replace the CMOS battery. So the CMOS battery is going to remain non-functional, but as you will see, that is actually not a problem. Let's just look in the hard drive bay, because possibly it's buried in here. You never know. So we'll lift this off. Note that is just a hard drive. It is in fact a full-size IDE hard drive though. It's none of this 1.8-inch nonsense like in some of the ThinkPads of this era. Thinking of the X40, which I have an X40, and it's a very nice laptop, but the hard drive is just terrible. Like, absolutely terrible. Okay, we'll come back to the 710M in a minute, because what we're now going to do is put the 256 meg sticks in the 8500 so that I remember where they are. That doesn't mean I'm going to remember where they are. This is just... I'm not going to remember where I put these. They will be forgotten about. But there is video evidence of where I have put them, so that's fine. This laptop now has 512 megabytes of RAM. Again, out the way. Back to the 710M. The next thing is exciting. Woo! Now, the reason I even started doing this is because I found on eBay for £20 a brand new Dell genuine battery for this laptop. So, let's put the battery in and see if I was lied to by eBay or if we're going to explode and die. I don't know which one it'll be, but we'll find out. So slide and push. Nope. Well, it's in, and we're not on fire yet. So I'm going with that's good. battery light is blinking. I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. Probably not. CMOS checks on bad. Yeah, we know the CMOS is bad. We tried to solve that problem. We were not successful. F1 to resume. It didn't say the battery was unrecognised this time, though, and it still boots, so the RAM is fine. God, the screens on these are so reflective. Is the battery going to hold a charge? Also, I didn't think about this. Is this from the exploding era of Dell? Should I have not bought that? In case you're unsure what I'm referring to, it's this. In about 2006, there was a massive Dell recall of batteries on all of the following models due to significant fire risks while charging. So you can understand my slight trepidation to own one of these batteries. I mean, I'm not going to use it every day, but do I need to... Does that battery need to be kept in a jar? I didn't really think about that, actually. I mean, I'm sure it's fine, right? As long as I store it completely discharged. Is the camera going to refocus on the screen? Thank you. Half-height enter keys on American keyboards always confuse me. Right, well, we've booted. Does the brightness go up anymore? 1. It goes up 1 more. Okay. Let me try and rearrange the camera a little bit so we can actually see the screen. Okay, we can now see the screen. So, what's going on down here with the power icon? Wherever the power icon is. Not there. Control panel. Performance and maintenance. Power options. Always show icon in the taskbar. There we go. Right. It says charging. I'll trust it when it happens. Right. My computer, properties, do we have 1 GB of RAM? We do. Nice. Okay. This is good. This is good. So, this seems to now be completely working, which is really, really awesome. And the battery says charging, which means we should be able to, in theory, update the BIOS now, because it's still running the very first version of the BIOS, and I, don't know if updating it will solve any other problems. Probably not. Probably just create some. Obviously, this has legacy update on it, like every Windows XP thing I've ever touched, because legacy update is awesome, and if you haven't installed it on your Windows XP machine, please do, because it's the only way to make it remotely usable, really, because without all the updates, Windows XP is a little broken, and things don't really work or install properly. I'm going to leave this to charge for a bit. It's on 4%. So I'm going to leave it to charge. We can do a couple of these random driver updates and things it wants to do. And then we're going to try and update the BIOS when it's on 50%. Obviously, before I do that, I'm going to test if yanking the cable out makes it turn off or not. And I'll also let you know if my house burns down, because that could happen. So, having gone onto archive.org and loaded up 2007's Dell battery recall page, the X54... Let me get the specific one from my purchases. Where is it? Here. The X5458, which is what this battery is, because I checked the back, is not on the recall list, which is brilliant. I'm assuming it's just not one of the Sony cells. I think the other ones from this model are. So, C6013, C6... No. And C7786. Okay, so maybe this particular set of batteries is unaffected. But according to Dell's own recall website from 2007, I'm not going to blow up. So that's good. Now, obviously, my head is screwed on, and I'm never going to leave this laptop plugged in unattended or fully charged unattended. I will drain the battery before I put it away, because I have a brain, and no matter what Dell's website says, you know, user own risk, I think, comes under the category. But we're at 17% charged, and it is charging. And I forgot how much I love this laptop. It's really, really, really cute and really nice. It's not particularly slow either. That Pentium M is doing a surprisingly good job at keeping up. Should we install Supermium and see how far we can get with that? I think that would be cool. So let's map a network drive. Find the backs. Oh, the keyboard layout is incorrect. It's set to not the right keyboard layout. How do you change the keyboard layout? I assume it comes under regional options. I don't want to add a language. I don't remember how to change the keyboard layout on Windows XP. Classic view, keyboard. Hardware. Properties. That's for the drivers. I don't want to change the drivers. I want to change the layout. It has to be in the regional and language options. Language, advanced. Ah. Unicode programs? Though that's not keyboard layout, is it? Maybe you can't. Google. Change keyboard layout, Windows XP. Regional and languages, I was right. Customize. No, languages. Details. Ah, input language. There we go. Okay, so I need to add a keyboard layout. English United States. And then it asks me to log off, but that is fine. So then if we just restart, that should solve that problem. It doesn't take that long to boot either. I'm quite surprised. Again, this is one of those laptops that I own where it clearly wasn't used much, if at all. Like, it's got no wear on it anywhere. Pun intended. But yeah, we now have 1 GB of RAM and a working battery, which is quite exciting, I suppose, in its own special way. Now, in this video, you have seen many, many Dells, but the Latitude C400 is a project I would like to work on. The problem is, the C400 does not support USB boot in the BIOS, which you might think, oh, that's fine, you know, plop bootloader. Yeah, great. The issue is, the C400 doesn't have a floppy drive or an optical drive in it. Those things were on the dock or in external modules that I do not have. So the only way to install an operating system on it is going to be to take the hard drive out, put it in a computer that can boot other things, install something, and then put it back. Which is a bit of a pain in the panani, but never mind. Okay, well, we're back, and now we should be able to log on to the file server and grab Supermium. So let's have a look. My computer, because now I should actually be able to type a / in. Map a network drive. There we go. When I installed Windows, I clearly hadn't noticed yet that the keyboard wasn't the right one. This keyboard is a little awkward to type on. Am I being an idiot? There we go, I just can't type. So, computer stuff, Windows programs, browsers, Supermium. Let that copy over. 9 minutes! 9 minutes? What? Like, I know it's an old wireless card, but jeez. 6 minutes to copy a few megabyte file off my local network? That's impressively bad, actually. Wow. I'll be back. I cannot even begin to explain the panic I just had. So, you know, obviously I've Googled it and we're safe and it's fine and I'm literally watching it. But there's always that little thing in the back of your mind that's not quite sure. I crouched down to pick something up and my shoe squeaked and my eyes zipped straight to this and I was expecting to see flames. The paranoia is real, but it is fine. I have checked. We are good. We are good. Yes, I want to install Supermium. So this is a 1.7 gigahertz Pentium M. So it's a pretty slow one, and it's probably an earlier one as well. I don't remember how to tell without taking it apart what generation Pentium M it is. But this is not a Centrino branded laptop, which makes me think it predates that modernness, basically. So we will not expect much, but we'll see. We'll see. It might surprise me. It can't be worse than the Intel Atom netbook that we looked at a few videos ago. So hey ho. Right, let's open up Supermium. So we've got 1 gigabyte of RAM and a Pentium M on the modern internet. This is probably not going to end with any success at all, but we'll see. It's thinking. This is not a fast hard drive, so that's not going to be helping the situation, but, you know. Come on, you got this. The hard drive activity light is, like, just solid. It's trying really hard. Oh, there it is. I always find the first time you open Supermium, it's way slower than any time after that, because it tries to load the sign in to your Google account page, which I'm not going to do anyway, because why would I sign into my main Google account on Windows XP in 2026? I value my passwords more than that. In terms of using Windows XP on the modern internet, if you're connected to the internet like this is, on a network that has a firewall, and you're not just clicking on random links, you're not going to just randomly get a worm or ransomware. It's like, the chance of that happening is so low because no one is targeting Windows XP anymore. What you should not do is just log into stuff because, you know, that is risky. But if you're just looking stuff up, you'll be fine. So, step 1 is always, as always, to go to reddit.com and see if it can load Reddit. Is it going to be worse or better than the Intel Atom? Yeah, well, that happened last time, and then I just did it again, and it was fine. There we go. The Reddit homepage when you're not logged in is such a weird place. My Reddit homepage is full of computer tech and some random video games. The main Reddit homepage is full of much different things than that. Well, it's loaded it. It was not fast, like, by any stretch of the imagination. Do we have any form of ability to scroll with the touchpad? No. Does it support edge scrolling? Can I enable edge scrolling? If I go into pointing device properties, oh, it's trying now. Now it's trying. Well, anyway, let's try and scroll. You know, this is not unusable on the Reddit homepage. This is fine. Like, it's taking a while to load the actual posts, but if I stop over one and wait, it will probably get there. I said probably, I didn't say definitely. Oh, there we go, yeah. See, like, that's fine. For 1 GB of RAM on a 1.7 GHz Pentium M, who the hell is this? On a 1.7 GHz Pentium M, the fact that it can even load a modern website is incredible. Now, on the netbook with 1 GB of RAM, trying to load the BBC website literally crashed the computer. So let's try that and see what happens. I can't even begin to imagine how bad this would have been on 512 megabytes of RAM. At least we have a bit more. Oh, she's thinking really, really, really hard, and it's just gonna poop its pants, isn't it? It's just gonna poop its pants. Yep, it crashed. That was expected. So we're not gonna try and load the BBC website, but it made progress. Pointer options. So can I hang on? Where's edge motion? There we go. When dragging, what does that mean? I don't understand what that means. Is that to do with dragging this around? Oh, it means like if I hold my finger at the edge, it keeps moving. Oh, I see. And if I press harder, does it move far? What is this force touch in 2002? I can make the window move faster if I press harder. What? That's crazy. I'm shocked. I am genuinely shocked. That is really impressive. What? That is so impressive. And yeah, edge scroll does work. Okay. What? This thing has like force touch equivalent. Like, you saw that? Like, if I put the window all the way over to the edge of the screen, that's not the edge of the screen. And I drag it, and I press harder on the trackpad. Look, it goes faster if I press harder. That's so cool. What? Dell in 2003? Damn. Okay, let's see. We are on how much battery? 30%. Can I run the BIOS update? It's because I've extracted it before. So we're currently on A06. We're going to A07. Go. There we go. We can now actually update the BIOS. That wasn't that hard. I don't know what the BIOS update will fix, but I always like to do BIOS updates just in case there's something. You know, it might fix a charging problem that might cause, you know, things. Oh. Would you like to reboot now? Yes. I really like that. This screen has really nice colours, actually. Like, it's glossy, but it looks good. It looks good. There we go. That was easy. Done. Oh, BIOS is updated. Good. Well, I'm going to leave this video here. am really impressed with this laptop. I haven't really played with it much before, but the fact it basically has a Force Touch trackpad, that's really cool, and for like no reason really cool. It's a great size, it's a brilliant Windows XP era machine, and I think I'm going to sit and play with it for a bit more, maybe install Microsoft Office and just like try the keyboard out properly and stuff like that. Like, I'm really impressed. So that concludes this video on the Inspiron 710m and me trying to find RAM for 20 minutes. But here we are. That is really quite impressive. We actually haven't tried to unplug it yet, have we? Let's log in. Wait for the tray icons to kick in. Right. It says 30%. 3, 2, 1. The screen dimmed, but it didn't die. Let's see how quickly it discharges. Can I turn the brightness back up again? Oh, I can. Nice, okay. Doesn't just fix it to a low brightness. 30% remaining. Still says 30%. It hasn't immediately dropped below that. Let's open up the Windows XP Tour, which is... I love the Windows XP Tour music.
Welcome to Windows XP from Microsoft, the new version of Windows that brings your PC to life. Experience the best. Experience Windows XP.
I could watch this tour for hours.
Best for business. Windows XP Professional shines as a business operating system. Get more work done.
Let's click on the road, because that's what this is for. Skip intro.
To begin the tour, click any selection.
Best for business.
With Windows XP, you get the proven...
Listen to, like, the music's just so jazzy. It's so good. Right, anyway, get out of that. What's the battery at now? It's only dropped 1%. Yep, this battery works. So I'm going to plug the charger back in so we can get it charged up. And I will see you in another video. I'm so happy. This thing's so cool. You didn't really think I'd end the video without trying to play Far Cry first, right? So that's what we're going to do. I've installed Far Cry because why the hell not? It just... The disk drive in this thing is so loud, by the way. So hopefully, once the game is open, it will stop being loud because it shouldn't be loading anything from the disk, theoretically. Okay. We're going to go into video options and we're going to make sure that everything is on low. Yeah. And we're going to see what happens.